We go into reaching. Reaching is something that we do less, because reaching is only for offshore races or the offset leg, but the offset leg is usually very how to say, not considered, is a preparation to the maneuver usually, more than concentrating on being fast in the dog leg, even if it's important to be fast there. So, which are the goal when I am reaching? The first goal is to bring all the power my boat can give me. I don't want to give away not 1 kilogram of righting moment. So again, I want to be on the target hill. Also reaching hill is my master. And probably the hill reaching is some degree more than the hill upwind, because upwind I am worried about the leeway. Is clear what is the leeway? The boat going sideways. Upwind, I can be pointing very high, but going sideways. So my VMG at the end is depending also on the leeway. And so the more I yield, less efficient will be the appendages and more leeway I will have. So upwind, I need to reach the limit of not increasing my leeway and getting the righting moment. Reaching, I'm a little less worried about the leeway, because I can laugh a bit if I'm having a little leeway, and I'm really looking to have power, so I can get some few degrees more to use more the weight of my heel and having more power. So first, I want to be powerful, but I want to also be balanced, because if upwind I am accepting some weather helm, because again the weather helm is helping my boat to reduce the leeway. Reaching the weather helm, the helm is just a brake, so I like to reduce it, because in reaching the target is to go fast. I have to go there, I can go straight, and the only thing that counts is the speed. The VMG, there is no more VMG. There is the VMC, that is the velocity made course. That is only velocity, only speed. So by some point of view, it's easy, if you try to do something, it's easy to see if it's working or not, because you look at the log. Am I going faster? Okay, it works. Am I going slower? Back. Of course, we need to remember that the balance is coming out from the two sails. So if upwind I want to have some weather helm, in reaching I don't want, this means that I need to move a bit the pressure away from the mainsail and more on the jib. And this can be achieved by trimming or by changing the sail. In reaching, there are plenty of solutions that are working in some angles. You know, reaching goes from, as soon as you bear away from close hold, from the low mode of close hold, let's say 45 degrees to wind angle, up to 100, 110. So it's a wide spectrum of angles, where theoretically every 5 degrees that should be a better sail than the one that I have. Is all the time, you have all the time the wrong sail. So you need to be able to squeeze the best of the sail you have. But still, you need also to consider to change the sail if you really have on board a better weapon. When I'm talking about the sail, it's not only one sail, because there are the multiple sail configurations. Now there are boats that are sailing with 3, and they are starting in some big boat to sail with 4 head sails. Imagine the casino with the sheets of all this. But it is working because you are moving forward the pressure, the center of effort, and you are making the rudder lighter and lighter. So the reason why you want to be powerful in the bow is because you want to get as less rudder possible, despite you are healing and powerful. That's the goal. There is also, if you are having a lot of rudder, reaching is also easy to broach. You need to have a safety zone before broaching, that you start healing and you say, guys, I'm losing the boat. There should be some space there to give the trimmers the time to ease the sails and regain the heel before broaching. But that's not the reason why you want to have a light rudder. The reason is that you don't want to have the rudder breaking. Every time you are overhealing and pushing the rudder to keep the boat straight, going straight, you are breaking big time. Imagine, did you ever see the rudder of your boat? Even on a small boat, it's a big stuff. If you put transfer to the speed, it's a huge break. It's in the water. You don't feel because you have the leverages, and so you don't really realize, and also most of the rudder are compensated, so you don't feel how much pressure there is there, but it's huge, and that's a break. So as less you can use, better it is. So there are, and here is impossible to go into all the solutions because it's unbelievably wide, but what you can try to consider is to invent something on your boat. If you have a bowsprit, you can try to also use an old jib and try to put as what we call the J0. Where is it? The J0 is this one. So normally is a furling sail that you hoist on top of the bowsprit with the Jennaker halyard, but is not going up to the top. Because what you really want is to have as many sails as possible, but also low, because you want power, but you don't want healing moment. So lower sail are better. And what is important is that it's not only the surface that counts, but is the fact that all these slots in between the sails, they are creating an acceleration of the wind, so they are performing much better together than alone. They are creating a faster flow inside there, but of course you need to have the ability, and not all the boat have, to position it properly, to have it not too close, not too far, being almost with the same sheeting angles, with the same twist, so that the flow is not getting stuck. So the triple head sail is really for very specialistic boat, let's say, but the double head sail, like there, that can be a code zero or even a Jennaker in the low angles, and the stay sail, it is something achievable quite easily on many boats. The staysail can be the actual staysail you are using also in strong wind. You don't need to have dedicated sails. It's worth to try, and also, as I said before, it's easy to say when we sail on the offshore boat, the training are almost all okay. Let's go straight line. Let's put the staysail up. How much wind? Which angle? Okay. Are we faster? No. Yes. Okay. Let's try 5 degrees, and you create your sail chart, and you know that for every angle and every wind speed, which is the right sail configuration. So the training for offshore racing is mostly to have the clear idea which sail to put in the specific wind angle and wind speed. But then, let's assume that we have the right sails up, we need to trim it.